All right, I'd like to introduce Nikki Nomer, Kola Bear Cosplay, and she's going to share a little bit about this adventure, this journey of how you got started, and things that you've learned on the way, and maybe we can have a little bit of Q&A to maybe answer some questions of anyone looking to get into cosplay.
Definitely happy to take questions. I want to help people, and I don't know what you're looking for answers until you ask, and then I can kind of direct that way. Yeah. Right.
So what are you wearing?
So right now I am Spider-Gwen, like Ghost Spider, and I did a wig instead of the face mask because, talking and stuff is a little easier when you're wearing a wig, not a shell on your face. But yeah, I have been cosplaying since 2017. Technically, my first cosplay was in 2012, but I really jumped into it in like 2017 after seeing Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. I was like, oh, that lady's crazy. I think I kind of can look like her, and Hot Topic made it really easy to start off right off the bat. They had the shirt, they had the shorts, and from there, I wish I had photo examples, but I do not. But I started with the Hot Topic version, and I kind of built from there. And it's something, I don't know, yeah. Nice. But yeah, 2017 is when I began, and actually, I'll show this right off the bat. So I kind of wanted to show the journey. Yeah, right off the bat, yeah. So Harley Quinn is kind of my main cosplay I do. I also, Rogue has kind of become a main for me too. But this is kind of an example of where I started. And I'm so happy with this. I still love this bat. It's what I bring to cons still a lot. But this bat cost me $10 to make because I went to Target and I got a foam, or one of the plastic bats. And here, feel free to. I know. Yeah, feel free to pass it around, look at it. If it gets chipped, that's great. So I was trying to copy what was originally on the bat in the film, and then I kind of made up my own stuff as I went. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's zip tied to show that it's safe for con use. Yeah.
So,
yes.
So question for you. You were saying you got the Hot Topic version originally.
Mm-hmm.
How has cosplay progressed and changed? Were people making things 100% in the beginning, or?
For me, when I started, I think cosplay was a lot more known and accepted, so it was a lot easier to find things. And I've always started with, I've done alterations. For me, I'm not like a full, I don't make everything from scratch. A lot of this is sourced as well. And I'll kind of go over how I put this together as an example of what you can do to, put together a whole cosplay. This is an example base, but I think there's good notes that anyone can pick up from it. But yeah, this costume, I bought it online. With how popular cosplay is now, it's really easy to get into it. And there's a source for basically everything, every character you're looking to do. There's probably a Facebook group for it. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with the film Promising Young Woman. There's a cosplay group with 120 members on Facebook for this particular character. So there's a group for each character, and if there isn't one, guess what? You get to make it, and you get to bring the collective together. I have a Facebook group with just 2 people, me and my best friend, because we wanted to have our own reference photos for Harley, and so we do. We have this in its own folder, and yeah, Facebook is really nice for making cosplay and keeping things put together for yourself. Yeah.
So you said your friend and yourself
Mm-hmm.
have a group just
Mm-hmm.
for reference photos.
Yeah.
So working together basically.
Yep. Yeah. So for me, when I'm doing cosplay, the research phase is the phase that kind of takes the most time, and it's my favorite part because guess what? You get to watch movies or watch anime or look at photos on Facebook. Yes, it's my favorite. Lost my train of thought, but Cosplay. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you. Research group started, and this costume in particular. There's so many groups available for Harley Quinn. There's literally Instagram has pages for different celebrities and what they wear. So this costume is, I would consider it pretty accurate to what was in the film. Is everyone familiar with this costume from Birds of Prey? Cool. I'm glad to see a lot of nodding heads. So a lot of this is like screen accurate pieces that I did research and found out from some of these Instagram groups of what she was wearing. You don't have to be that person, I promise you. You can find something that looks close enough and get to that point. But this jacket, through the research of other people doing a lot of research for me, which is great. These are why these groups and community is awesome. The jacket was made by the designer from the film. It was a very affordable jacket at the time. So the jacket with the confetti sleeves already came like this. The colors of this is wrong, but who knows? I barely even know that. And this is something that I will improve on the sleeves eventually, but that's a very scary project. We're even doing this for, 7 years? I'm still scared of cosplay, but I love it. So the jacket, and then this is from the original company that made these. Now the fun thing about this, so it's actually a swimsuit, which is really funny to me. The pink was originally the same color. It's kind of hard to see, but there's that orange. It was orange originally. So doing some alterations, I just did a dye bath and I turned it pink just to make it so it actually matched what hers looked like. The shorts, yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about the dye bath? What is that?
So I did a RIT dye in a big old kettle. And RIT dye has directions on the bottle. And my friend and I, we compared notes of how we were dyeing the fabric. She did the same thing. And I gave suggestions on my ratio, and she gave me suggestions based on her ratio. And
is that the dye water mix?
Yeah. So it's a bottle of liquid dye, the one that I did. And I think, what color did I put in there? It's been so long, I don't even remember. I think it was red. No, I can't remember. This is years ago. Yeah, so I put.
You actually dyed it.
I dyed this myself. Yeah, so this was originally that color. And me with color theory, I'm like, how did this, which looks darker, turn into this? I don't know, but I'm happy it did.
That's the raffle.
Okay.
We're really excited to be here.
Yeah. So yeah, that was something that I've improved this costume over the years too. I originally started with the swimsuit that came from Spirit Halloween or Hot Topic, and it was great. But I just have a keen attention to detail, and I wanted it to be right. So I did more research, found the thing, did the work to make it match even better. Instead of having to buy the pink suit and the orange suit because they sold individually, and I 50% off because I did it myself. And then sourcing materials, this was at Spirit Halloween. The nice thing about this is I was doing this when it was very fresh and very popular. So all of this stuff was just kind of available to find. These shorts are the same brand, very similar cut to the shorts she wore in the film. I did all the painting myself, and I did research about how these pants were done. And in the film, they did latex on them. So I also did liquid latex on the pants. The stars are just acrylic paint, so I am very nervous to wash them. So it's acrylic paint on the shorts, and I can probably spin it. Let's see.
I can take care of that for you.
Yeah. So we got some nice stars over here, and a very awesome thing that my friend did for me. He went to New York Comic Con in 2019 before the film came out, and he took close-up photos for me of the original costume, so I got all of the details. This is why we make friends in the cosplay community. Yay, thank you, friend. Once again, Spirit Halloween. Heavy research about stupid things like, hey, this stripe here, does it curve? And, this is just my hyperfixation of, this makes me happy, making it exact. You don't have to do that, I promise. there's really great alternatives that are cheaper and gonna look the same basically. The only people who are gonna know are the people who also cosplay the character, and they're all just happy that you're joining them. So it doesn't have to be exact, I promise you. Even this costume is a kind of combination of two versions, like we said. It's, you know, Spider-Gwen, but I got the Gwen Stacy hair going on. This is more comfortable, and you may cosplay what you want it to be. Yeah.
Question for you.
Yes, please.
So how do you decide what character you want to cos next? Like, is it?
So many ways.
Okay.
So a lot of times when I first started, what drew me to Harley Quinn was I was going through like a health crisis, and I wanted to just feel good in my skin again. And I was like, you know what? I kind of look like this lady. I think I don't, but it's fine. And I was like, she's crazy. I like crazy. That sounds fun. And even she's messy, and I'm a perfectionist. So I thought messy was a good way to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone and maybe become like, yeah, just like more comfortable in my skin, comfortable in my abilities. And then I discovered, oh, Harley's a very specific messy. Oh no, my perfectionism doesn't like this. This is too much perfect. It's fine. We still learn from it, and I still love that she's chaotic. Yeah. And then now a lot of my characters, like my most recent cosplay I did was Shin Hati from Ahsoka. And that one I'm really happy with. That costume was like, once again, just purchased online, and I did alterations to make it look better because there's a lot of little details to it, and I just wanted to make it kind of match more of what I was looking for. The thing about that costume that I'm just super proud about is I dyed the wig. I cut and dyed the wig myself, which bleaching a wig is terrifying. So that's kind of the way that I like to cosplay, is just perfectionism brain. But you can do cosplay any way you want. You want to do an original take, you want to do a mashup cosplay, an original design, you know, gender bend cosplay, anything you want to do, it's all valid. It's really cool.
A question for you when you were going into Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of accessories and different things that go into that type of character. So I'm wondering, when you were gathering accessories or building like accessories that you know, for the look of the character, are there any type of experiences where you've had an accessory fail? Or
all the time. Yeah, no, everything breaks all the time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, actually, yeah, my shin. I thought I knew what I was doing. I'm like, okay, all the Velcro on. So in Star Wars, it's boots and then boot covers and layers and layers and layers on your boots. So I was like, great. So I've got leather boots. I've got Velcro. I'm going to Velcro the straps to the boots and then put the thing over that and then the armor over that. And I didn't really account for the weight of the plastic armor. The plastic armor kind of pulled it down even with the Velcro. And I didn't account for how big my leg actually was. So it kind of snapped open. These are all minor things though. So even if something is not going quite right, most people aren't going to notice. Like, oh no, my leg strap is hanging down. Just pose differently. Hide it, you know?
That's amazing. Like, on the fly, taking photos, things falling apart, having to change it up. The other thing that stuck out to me that was really, really interesting was your perspective for your approach to cosplay, about community building, like around it, and then also even confidence, where you're saying, I'm going into this character because it gets me out of my head. It's something different than what I would do. That's a perspective that I've never heard before.
For me, I like to, there's multiple reasons of why someone might choose a cosplay. Some people choose cosplays because they look like a character, or they're looking for something in themselves that they relate to, or they relate to the character, or they want to relate to something in the character, be more like that person. So then they cosplay them because that's, you know, helping them grow somehow. And I really love cosplay because I get to grow a lot. It's cheaper than therapy. No, that's not true. That's not true.
I was going to say,
it is more fun.
Cosplay can get pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Then another thing, so that's an internal perspective, but some on the note of external perspective. So I know people cos for many different things, just for getting out, just for having fun.
Yeah.
But there's also people that cos occasionally for charitable causes, different events.
Yep.
Have you been involved in any of that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So my first con actually was Fall Con. First con I chose to go to, I should say. Fall Con 2017, I'm pretty sure. And that was with my embarrassing first Harley Quinn. But that's how I met a lot of people that I'm friends with today, is Rick. So I still have the card you gave me. Yeah, I have a collection. It's funny. Almost every con I go to, I get a playing card from someone, whether it's a Joker or a Gambit. Now I have a collection of like 6 or 7 cards. It's really fun. I tangented.
It's okay.
Oh, friends,
it
community
is
building,
okay.
great. Yes, there's a lot of opportunity for community building,
Charitable
volunteering,
causes,
charitable
yeah.
causes. So Costumers for a Cause, which is here, they're a really great group to be involved with. I've been with them since the 2017-2018 time frame, and it's great because cons are more frequent than they used to be. But it gives you an opportunity to do something a little different and a way that it's not like self-serving too. It feels nice to be like, oh great, I get to go to a party and make kids happy. That's so cool. So the community events are really cool, and there's a lot of things coming through. We have a lot of events that we need staffing for, basically. But yeah, if you have costumes, whether it's superheroes or princess or Disney fairy tale friends kind of thing, there's a lot of opportunities there, and I would say go check in with them because they're going to have good resources. And even if you don't have a costume that fits in that, we're still looking for people to hang out. So
And then another thing, so I know you've been doing this for a minute, now, and you shared in the past that it's like went into some other opportunities that you wouldn't have imagined, like with Marvel.
Yeah.
You mind sharing like that opportunity?
Yeah. So the Uncanny Experience, which is also here, had some artists who do comic book covers for Marvel, and one of the artists was there, and we connected, and I got to be on a Marvel comic book. I make it sound like really small, but it's like I'm freaking out about it still. Like these weird opportunities, just like networking, making friends is networking, and connections happen and things happen because of it. And
on the note of the networking, so we all have social media. We all know what social media is, and we use it for multiple things. Now, when you started the Kola Bear Cosplay, with your social media usage, did you notice different strategies or different approaches with posting or whatever to promote the direction you wanted to take it more along the lines of being a professional cosplayer?
I'm still learning. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's kind of working somehow. It's really random. Like I just got a block of a bunch of people following me recently, and I think it actually has to do with this con. Like randomly, So I was at WonderCon, and then I was at C2E2, and now I'm here. So I think with having a place that you're centralized on, I think that's the word, having a place where people can find you consistently. For me, it's Instagram, and networking outside of those that regular place. Like I'm on the website for SpringCon because I'm here, so I feel like that maybe was a connection of how some attention got to my page, and then working with photographers and other cosplayers in the community. That was another way that I've gained a lot of cross posting and followers. Yeah.
So staying active, staying engaged.
I try to.
Keeping things out there.
It's crazy because social media is this weird, always changing. It's the algorithm, like everyone talks about it, but the algorithm's weird, and I don't understand it still. So.
Well, good time for that plug. How can fans follow you?
I'm Kola Bear Cosplay, Kola with a K, primarily on Instagram. I do have a TikTok and a Facebook that I guess post on, and then also an X account that I don't know, I think I posted in December, like Merry Christmas or something, so it's been a bit.
So I'm gonna jump back to the creation and making things.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you customize even the wigs.
Oh yeah. This is not what this looked like when I got it.
Oh,
Yeah. This wig, I cut the bangs because when you get so Amazon $20. You can find cheap things that work great for you. $20, $2 for the fanny pack. You just have to do a lot of research. I will say when you're buying things like on Amazon, check the reviews, look at photos. And when you're buying wigs, this is a very important tip. When you're buying wigs, look at the hairline on the person who's wearing it to see if you can actually see what it looks like, because they always crop the photo right here. It's like, oh, look at how beautiful that hair is. How does it look on your forehead? You don't know. So, like this one, it's not lace front, which is fine for bangs. But if you're doing a wig that is framing your face, lace front is the way I like to go, whether it's human hair or synthetic. But check the reviews just to see how it actually looks.
so question.
Yeah.
Jump in. You said lace.
Yeah, so lace front is the way that the wig sits on your head. This is just called a hard front wig. So it doesn't have anything to make it look more natural. Like when hair grows from your head, it kind of starts a little thin and it thickens up. So with the lace front wig, it's got literally lace, like it's mesh lace. And it's got all the hairs hand tied onto it. Someone or some machine tied it on. And if you've ever watched videos of the machine tying the hair onto it, it's really cool. But yeah, that's lace front, hard front, and I always recommend personally doing a lace front wig. A lot of wigs are going to require some work though to make them look quality. This one was pretty good. Like you can tell it's fake, or I can because it's shiny. You can fix stuff like that with spray and like dry shampoo. That'll help a bit. I attempted in the back, but I kind of was heavy on the application, so it's like a big stripe of white in the middle. So, but there's a lot of different ways to make synthetic wigs look more realistic. And dryer sheets. You can rub dryer sheets on your wigs, and that helps with static, and it also helps with the shine. It's really weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 more questions on the
Yes.
wigs. Sorry about the wigs. It's just interesting to me.
Mhm.
So, is the lace front or a hard front
Yeah.
or whatever is it comfort thing also at all or no?
A little bit. So for me, the most comfortable wigs are going to be human hair wigs.
That was going to be the second
Those are
question.
expensive.
I was like, yeah.
Those are expensive. So this wig, $20. Most of the synthetic lace front wigs that I have are like in the $40 price range. 90% of my wigs come from Amazon. Even the human hair wigs that I buy them on Amazon. Always check the reviews though. I promise you it's going to save you a lot of headache, because the human hair wigs, if you're going to, especially if the work that you need to do to a human hair wig, depending on what you're going for, may require some different type of effort that you need for a synthetic wig. You can pull color out of human hair. That's hard. I'm bad at it. I fried a whole very expensive wig, and that's part of the cosplay experience. Is sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to, and you kind of have to learn from it and maybe learn how to fix it. So I'm gonna learn how to revive a human hair wig, and that'll be something that I can add to my repertoire of look at my skills. I fixed a wig. Yes. Right now, they are all laying on top of each other in my buffet. I do have a wall of wigs too, and some of them are actually on there. I've got like the craft foam mannequin heads, and yeah. So there's just a wall of wigs next to my sewing machine. So you walk in, and there's just these staring at you when you walk in.
That was terrifying to me as a child.
Yep. And then I've got 4 of these on the other side of the sewing machine. So then you walk in, there's dismembered bodies, and then there's heads over here. All of my mannequins have been secondhand. Marketplace is a great thing for cosplay, props, supplies, sewing machines. You can find sewing machines. I would recommend getting a cleaner for those though if you buy those, because oftentimes there's some sort of damage with those. Yeah. I think my mom gave me this one. She does like antique stores and stuff, so I think she gave me this one and then another one, and yeah, I've got 5 mannequins. Yeah.
You got a question over here?
Ooh. Yeah, so gluing 3D printed stuff to my costumes. I've done E6000. Yeah, that's my favorite. And I do that on, that's great because it works with fabric as well. And it's also flexible. The only thing you have to keep in mind, it is a toxic fume with it. I'm a bad cosplayer and I don't put on the mask. You should be a good cosplayer and put on the mask. So yeah, it's E6000 is my go-to glue for most things. And if you don't know the answer, Google is so great. I Google like every time I'm putting together a cosplay, I'm like, what glue works best for PVA or, for fabric or whatever, or this product to this product. And there's actually a whole book, I can't remember the name of it, but a cosplayer put together a whole book of bonding different items with glue. It's really cool and I want to find it again. But it's a really awesome book and she talks about like what failed too or what works well. And yeah, the cosplay group is really cool.
That's interesting. So you actually have to make sure you have certain types of glue for
I have
whatever you put in.
Yeah, I have a little mini drawer of glue. Got a little mini drawer of super hot glue, and then I've got a drawer of various types of tapes, including aluminum tape, because aluminum tape works well for making random things. It doesn't last long, but it looks cool. Yeah.
Real quick, does anybody have any other questions? Oh, you got a question?
What is a dream cosplay for you?
Sarah Kerrigan, Queen of Blades, with the big wings and all the rib cage and stuff. That's gonna be a big project, and that's a long way off because that's expensive to make because the way that I'm anticipating making it is like silicone, so it's rewearable. And I've talked to someone about doing it. I might try and do it somehow on my own, a little more affordably, but I'm still very scared of that one. The more achievable one that's a dream is Hawk Girl, so I'm gonna eventually do that and figure out how to do the articulating wings because the wings are cool.
What has 3D print technology done for cosplay or for you personally?
Yeah, so much. A new discovery in the cosplay community is you can 3D print on top of fabric. It's so cool.
You can 3D print on top of fabric?
Yeah. So, the mesh I was talking about for the wigs, you can use mesh to print, I've seen people do scales. So then you can wear it on yourself, and it looks so good. I don't know. I haven't experimented with that myself, but I have some friends who are awesome, and they've been 3D printing some things for me, and they have the skills for doing alterations and stuff to the files. I don't know anything about that. So
I got a question on how did you find the Gwen's shoes?
These are Crocs. So
are they Crocs for real?
Yeah, these are Crocs.
Did they make them on purpose for the?
Nope. I was researching for a while. Yeah. I was researching for a while. What's a small looking shoe in this particular color that's not ballet flats, not like just the flats that you just find standard. That would work, absolutely. Actual ballet point shoes, that'd be cool, but I don't have the training for that, so I don't want to kill my feet. These, I can't do a backflip, but I feel like I can. So these are great. Yeah, $20 Poshmark. Poshmark is a great idea. Hey. Iron Spider? Yeah. Oh.
So I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
3D printing on top of fabric for Iron Spider suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Sure.
Do you have to use
As far as the 3D printing directly onto that one's going to be difficult because that kind of fabric doesn't bond very well. I've done, my Catwoman suit is the same kind of material, and for me, I like that it doesn't hold things because I paint on the stitches, she has on her suit with puff paint, and every now and then it peels off, but that's nice for me because I like to change my stitches. I don't know. So yeah, that kind of fabric is really difficult. That one might be something you might have to use magnets on the back side of the costume for. You can talk to me over at my booth too, or send me messages, and I'll work with you to research something. So yeah, that's something without seeing it, I'm gonna have a hard time understanding it. But,
and we have another question over here.
Yes.
Now, you talked about the doctor.
Mhm.
Have you followed some of the sites that show you how you can make your 3D?
Yeah, I've been following, I forget her name, but she's kind of the one who popularized the wings years ago, and I love what she does. Eventually, I'll do it. It's the step before Sarah Kerrigan. I always, cosplayers, our list keeps growing and growing and growing, and I'm scared of those two, so I keep letting me get more and more cosplays between us. So eventually, yeah. But I like wings, is what I think. I just like wings.
But now, were you asking like how to go about finding?
Well, thing is, I've done gargoyle full-on costume that had actually everything.
So did you?
Basically look up the arms and the wings?
Yeah.
So you made the wings and
My
everything.
friend who is a little more mechanically aptitude was able to make the wings for you.
Yeah, so this may be something not everyone's familiar with, but there are wings that articulate out, so they kind of extend in and out with a motor in the back. And then, so there's a lot that goes into making those. First of all, you have to know how to do wiring. I don't know that yet. That's something that's on the list. So eventually I'll work on wiring. And there's fantastic cosplayers who talk about this stuff online. Instagram, they have books about it. And then you have to work on a sleeve that goes over these bars, basically. It's bars that extend out into like a chicken wing. You got a chicken wing on your back ×2 or ×4 I've seen. That's pretty cool. I saw a Maleficent cosplay in person and she had the wings and like her wingspan was at least 10 feet. It was massive. It was massive. And I don't know how she was walking around. But yeah, I think that with that one, and that's something you have to think about when you're wearing cosplay, how is it going to affect your day? Like, are you going to be wearing it for 8 hours? Do you want to walk around with a 20, 30 pound set of wings on your back for that amount of time? Or are you going to take breaks? Are you going to, depending on where you're cosplaying, like I sometimes will travel for cons, like I go to, lately I've gone to WonderCon, I've gone to C2E2, I went to Dragon Con one year. Dragon Con is in Atlanta. It's very steamy. So wearing Daenerys Targaryen when I'm wearing fleece-lined pants, fleece-lined shirt, and then a shirt on top of it, and then a wig where you're sweating through your wig, not the best idea. So consider what you're doing with your cosplay. How comfortable you're going to be wearing it long term, or if there's anything that's going to affect it, the costume directly itself. That high heat, direct sunlight with Warbla, not your friend. It's going to melt your costume. There's, and I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with Warbla. It is a heat activated plastic-ish material. Yeah. But it's something that it's a wonderful material. It's great. It melts and glues to itself when you heat it up, but putting it in direct sunlight, it's going to fall apart.
And so
yeah.
with regard with taking into consideration your environment, where you're going, time, with accessories like weapons, swords,
Yeah.
guns, is there any tips that you can advise cosplayers that are either traveling
Yep.
or looking to enter into a venue with these type of accessories?
Yeah, so check the website for the particular con on what they're what they allow within the con space. Some cons will allow realistic props, some won't. They will do what's called piece bonding, like this one we talked about. So they just put like a little zip tie on it so they know, oh, this is pretend. And then, very important, check TSA, see if it's allowed with you, or if you can also a lot of times do it as a checked bag. So when I went to WonderCon this time around, I did have to check some of my luggage. I haven't done that before, but this time I was flying with prop guns, and you don't want to be on the list, the big no fly list. No. So yeah, do your research about what's allowed on planes. I frankly can't remember if baseball bats are allowed or not. Weirdly enough, lightsabers are. So lightsabers are fine. I'm never sure if they're going to change that rule, but always do your research before you travel, and more specifically about flying. But certain cons have different rules.
Have you ever lost any props? I mean, because of travel, TSA, or anything?
No, but funny story. When I fly with Catwoman, that suit is all PVC, and they stopped and searched my entire bag because they couldn't see through the bag. So they had to make sure I wasn't carrying anything. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently. Yeah, they're like, we can't see anything. I'm like, okay. This is fine.
You are a spy dressed as Catwoman.
So something I started doing, and this is no one told me to do this, but I started writing handwritten notes of like, hey, my name is, and I cosplay. Here's my handle, so you can look at what I do. So then people realize she's the right kind of crazy at this. So.
And then with the regard, I'm gonna jump back to the branding and professional cosplay because I know I've called on you before.
Yeah.
I'll call on you again
Good.
to come out to different
Excellent.
events. Yes. That aspect of like business cards and like self-promotion and all that kind of stuff. You
Yeah.
said you have a table here at
I
this
do,
event.
yeah. I'm in the back corner by the green screen if you want to come say hi to me.
Any
More talking over there, please and thank you.
any tips and tricks and or things like how you promote or just different things for your fans, like that you would let other cosplayers know that they should think about having?
So these community groups are definitely what I say to go into. We're all local to Minnesota. Minnesota cosplayers. Join that group on Facebook. That one's got almost 6,000 members in it, I think now. And it's really wholesome. You get to see different people showing off their progress on their costume, maybe asking for some help on how to do something or how someone did something. That one's local, really nice. If you are femme presenting, non-binary, you can also join Sheeprop. That one is my favorite. Everyone in there is so helpful. And then you can find specific groups for like Star Wars or Shinhati. I found a group for Shinhati, and people are sharing where they get the specific links for like 3D files for making the armor and stuff. I think I'm still on point. I can't remember what tangent.
It was. I was asking, different things that you would take into consideration, building your brand, like business cards or community groups.
Yeah, definitely. The connecting within the community is the way to kind of do the networking side of things more than anything else, because that's going to help you also kind of keep that energy up instead of thinking about this is a business. I'm here to get followers. It's way more fun if you do this for fun and not for like I'm here to make money. It's a lot more fun when you connect with people and view them as people and not numbers.
And I don't know if anyone else has a question, but I do have a question. So with a lot of the web slingers, the Spidey suits, I've been seeing the cosplay outfits have like 3D raised material on it. It's not because I think yours is printed.
Mine's printed. Yep. That's a lot of little stuff to.
But I've been seeing some of them actually looking like movie replicas.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do you know how they do that, or how do they get that on there?
There's a couple different options. You can have. There's some really great. I forget the name, but they do movie quality suits. So these are people who actually are within the film industry, and they will do like these printed, like web patterns that they form, and watching them put it on a mask is so cool because it's in like. Here's a web going this way, here's a web going this way, and one this way, and one this way, and then they fold it around the mask. It's so cool. The way that a lot of cosplayers will do it that's more affordable but very time-consuming is they'll use that 3D puff paint that I talked about for my my Catwoman suit. It's really great. I think it looks cool. It can kind of start to do that peeling thing, though, that I talked about. I don't know. I haven't experimented, but I might play around with. I have a really cheap $40 suit. I might play around with the liquid latex to see how that works. Really?
So the question over here is, what's the ratio that you should mix the puff paint in order to have a more durable or lifespan?
They were answering for me.
Oh, they were answering for you.
Because I didn't know that. I'm learning. Thank you.
And what was the
Okay.
5-to-1?
Awesome.
5-to-1 ratio for.
Sweet. That's gonna stick in my head.
So good info up here.
Yeah. Yes.
Just in case.
Yeah.
We got folks researching info for cosplay creation using puff paints and things on Sean's Crafts. Okay.
Very cool.
Put it up there.
Thank
I have
you.
it saved on there. I'll make sure to send it to you.
See, community building. You helped me learn too. Thanks, guys.
And so as we come to a close here, is there any other questions about tips, tricks. Oh, we got one over here.
Yeah. Mhm. With the customers for a cause, that's kind of what I like to connect myself to, because those are community events that are more, for community building specifically. And I know a lot of the people in the group, and the ones that I know who show up, we always have a good time. So for me, just connecting with specific people and just becoming friends with them. I don't know if I really answered your question.
It was
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, that it's seeing who's showing up. Like I really enjoy things like the movie theater premieres because hey, you get to go to a movie for free, which is cool, and I get to go in costume. Wow, it's so nice. And the opportunities to do the events there's a lot right now. And as far as like picking cons to go to, I've started like connecting with cons and being like, hey, are you looking for guests just to see like if there's a desire. If not, no skin off my teeth or whatever the saying is. Otherwise, if they want me to show up, yeah, that's awesome, And it's still the networking, meeting new people, To me, it's all about the people, not necessarily about the, like, experience. Yeah, I like the people.
so. Sounds like that. You have, let's see. You want to get into cosplay? You got to be multidisciplinary. Sounds like you got to be an engineer.
No. You don't have to do any of that. No.
But
Cosplay's for everyone.
and there's sounds like there's more than one reason to get involved in it.
Yeah.
But just to wrap up, I want to say thank you to Nikki and Kola Bear Cosplay. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Nikki Noma Kola Bear Cosplay. Look her up. Follow her on Instagram, Facebook. It's Twitter. Oh, you can't say Twitter anymore. It's X. I'm old. I'm old.
I still.
It's gonna be Twitter to me.
Right.
Yeah. But if you have questions, still feel free to come talk to me at my back booth because I would love to talk to people and share what I know or research because I really love research. So please come talk to me.
Yeah, so thanks. And thank you all for showing up. Great job.